What's up everybody, welcome back. We have Metroid Prime 4 big news to share in this video, and it is confirmed news, it's real, and it's very exciting. So if you do enjoy this one, definitely hit the like button, subscribe for more Metroid Prime 4 videos on this channel. We will be covering this game as we have been already on this channel for the past few years, its development and everything about Metroid Prime 4. Very excited. It is my most anticipated Metroid game, of course, of all time, and my most anticipated Switch game, most anticipated game I think of all time for me personally. I'm just very excited for Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 1 is probably my favorite game of all time, if not one of the favorites that I have personally. And the Metroid series overall is probably my all-time favorite series for Nintendo. Zelda, Mario, and Donkey Kong, of course, they're there as well. So we're going to be talking about this big news of Metroid Prime 4 in this video, along with some more information about this new Switch hardware coming that has been reported and rumored. There's multiple different pieces of information that have come to light even today and in the last few days about this new console Nintendo's working on, and we're going to discuss how it's going to be connecting with, of course, Metroid Prime 4, because it's looking very likely that this game will be running on this new Switch that Nintendo's about to be revealing very soon from what it looks like. So get excited and let's talk about Metroid Prime 4. So what happened today was huge, very huge, and I'll explain why. Basically, it was revealed that the senior game designer formerly of God of War from the PlayStation 4 God of War, not God of War 1, 2, or 3 from PlayStation 2 or 3, but God of War 4, also known as just God of War 2018 for the PlayStation 4, has been confirmed 100% to be working on Metroid Prime 4 as the environment designer for Retro Studios. Now, of course, I want to bring out along with this that just because he is an environment designer does not mean that the game is just starting development on environments or something like that. That is not the case, as we brought out in the past year plus on this channel way back in 2019. They've been hiring environment designers for quite a long time for Metroid Prime 4. So this is not something where they're completely starting from scratch, but he's adding his expertise. And if you look at what he has done with God of War on the PlayStation 4, if you look at that game is amazing, like just flat out amazing. I don't care if you're a Nintendo fan, a Nintendo fanboy, Sony fanboy, Xbox fanboy, you have to admit when something is great, and God of War is a great game. It was in fact heralded by many as the game of the generation for the 8th gen, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Wii U, and Nintendo Switch. And it brought out from that job description from senior game designer on God of War that he owned several hours of critical path. So as senior game designer for God of War, that's a huge position. As senior game designer, he spent no doubt a big portion in the critical half of the game, basically the last half of the game. He was very important to that game's final development and a critical part to the quality of that game, as well as with everyone else at Santa Monica Studios for Sony. That is Sony's crowning achievement. Many consider that game to be Sony's first party, like, gangbuster game. Their Mario, their Zelda, what have you. God of War is considered to be that good. And if you did play it, obviously you probably would think the same way if you have a PlayStation 4. God of War is simply fantastic. There's just no denying it. And in conjunction with that, it should be noted, John Marcella also worked on God of War Ascension, and before that he worked with Square Enix. So this guy's portfolio is top-notch, AAA, quadruple A, what have you. This is a huge get for Retro Studios to help them in the development of Metroid Prime 4 and to get this game out the door probably by the end of 2021 or 2022 is my guess, of course. We don't know for sure, but the way the development is ramping up so fast and they're getting all these extremely high-profile developers, Nintendo's getting ready to show something with this game. Maybe with the reveal of this new Switch coming very soon. We haven't seen any footage of Metroid Prime 4 at all thus far, nothing at all. So it would be very nice if they did some type of reveal with this new Switch that has been reported on coming in early 2021 with some kind of bang and some kind of big standout trailer to introduce this system. It would be really cool if they did that. Obviously by now they got to have something ready to show with Metroid Prime 4 at this point. We've been talking about it for so long now. That restarted development from scratch, no doubt, in the very late portion of 2018. So here we have even more fuel to the fire that this game is going to be fantastic, going to be quadruple A, it's going to be huge, it's going to look amazing. And now on top of all that, we have even more information on this new Switch that's been in development, rumored and reported for the past couple years. Starting with the Wall Street Journal, Nikkei, Wall Street Journal again, Bloomberg. It's been going on and on and on with the reports until finally Nintendo is getting ready to announce it, which looks like it's going to be very, very soon from what it's looking like, because now finally we actually have reports of retailers actually having a quote-unquote Switch Pro listed in their databases. It's discovered that the well-known retailer in Europe named Media Market has a Switch Pro listed with a Nintendo Switch when you do a search for the console. Now, if you recall, in 2019, the same exact thing happened with the Nintendo Switch Lite, and was originally reported on as being a Switch Mini. And of course, multiple retailers started popping up showing accessories and even naming the console Switch Mini in their databases. And here we have the first instance of a Switch Pro in the databases for Media Market. So obviously the name Nintendo gives it is not going to be Switch Pro. I highly doubt that. It's going to be something else. But Switch Pro indicates an upgrade, a more powerful Switch. Basically anything that has a Pro attached to it historically has been an upgraded console, and more powerful, more performance, better features, all those things. Exactly what has been reported on by these websites of coming to fruition in the not too distant future very soon, perhaps in the first part of 2021, which would mean if it's showing up in retailers right now, starting to at least, then Nintendo will in fact be announcing this thing very, very soon. Because as you know, when things start popping up at retail, then huge leaks will start to happen after that. Then it's going to become painfully obvious that Nintendo just needs to announce this thing before it completely leaks to the public, which is looking like it's going to happen soon if they don't announce it soon. So that's very, very exciting. Plus, on top of that, there is also more information from a well-known leaker. The same guy who correctly leaked and rumored that Monster Hunter Rise was coming to the Switch has also gone on record now and said today that the Switch Pro rumors are true. And I'll read to you what he said. This comes from Dust Golem. He again, like I said, correctly rumored Monster Hunter Rise coming to the Switch, running on the Resident Evil engine. He was correct about all those things, and of course the reveal being very, very soon. He got all those things right. He says, I know the Switch Pro, quote unquote, rumors are true, and the reason a lot of Switch games recently have been keeping their frame rate unlocked is to have an easy performance boost on it. Now this of course would make sense if Nintendo is releasing a new Switch that is more powerful than the current one, that the games would automatically either get a performance boost or patches to unlock even further performance in those games. Say you have 30 frames per second in Monster Hunter Rise, you get it on this new Switch, it'll run at 60 frames per second, maybe on 1080p or what have you. Something like that would definitely make sense, as others have also said that it aligns this perfectly with the new 3DS. Nintendo released that console with Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and it had enhanced graphics and better performance on, of course, the new Nintendo 3DS. It launched with it, along with Zelda 3D Majora's Mask. Now here we have the same guy who correctly leaked Monster Hunter Rise coming to the Switch, saying that he knows the Switch quote-unquote Pro rumors are true, like he knows they're true. Nintendo is due to release a very nice upgraded Switch due to the current issues the Switch has right now. You have the very faulty and low quality Joy-Con builds that they have currently on the Switch. They simply should and need to be improved. I think we all can agree on that. You also have certain Switch consoles that have warped and have bent and even cracked in some cases. The build quality of the Switch could be improved upon quite a bit just in that aspect, not to mention the performance aspects of it. Monster Hunter Rise was a good example. When you saw it in that trailer, the game was running kind of choppy. And Capcom did confirm that they are targeting, quote-unquote, targeting 30 frames per second for that game on the Switch. So a more powerful Switch, of course, maybe that is targeting 60 frames per second, would be a huge selling point to get that console off the ground. You gotta have some big games to sell that console with, right? And the reports were from Bloomberg that this new Switch would launch with a lot of really big system-selling games, and Monster Hunter Rise would definitely do that. And then you gotta think about what's happening with Doom Eternal, right? Recently, the developers said that, hey, the game is coming soon, we don't have anything to say about it, and they said this just a few weeks ago or about a week ago. We had an update from id Software from the developers on Doom Eternal. They said, yeah, due to COVID-19 and all these things going on, working at home, the game's taking a little bit longer, but we're going to show it pretty soon. And they keep saying very, very soon, very, very soon. And they keep saying that, pushing it off. But you got to think at this point, they're probably just waiting to show this game on this new, more powerful Switch, because if they're getting 60 frames per second on this new Switch instead of 30 frames per second on the current Switch, because Panic Button already confirmed that the Switch with Doom Eternal will be doing a maximum of 720p and 30 frames per second. And Doom Eternal plays best with 60 frames per second or more. And I say or more because you play that game on PC, you would know that you could actually max that game out at 144 frames per second if you have a powerful enough PC. At 1080p, you could run that at 144 hertz. The game is even better the more frame rate it has. So if they can get 60 frames per second at least on this new Switch with Doom Eternal, that could be a huge selling point. Playing Doom on the go at 60 frames per second, say at 1080p on a brand new screen, that would be a huge, great selling point, and people would definitely double dip and buy that again to play that game on the go, because Doom Eternal is currently not available to be played portably, right? And if you can get the exact same experience on the go without sacrificing frame rate on a new Switch with better technology, new technology, something based on a more modern chip, obviously, than something from 2015, all this is lining up to make very, very good sense, both market-wise, business-wise, and of course for the consumer, because consumers are putting their money down already with pre-orders for PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 is huge already. It's completely sold out. Pre-orders basically vanished on that console in the first hour. It went on pre-order and it was a surprise drop. And then of course, yesterday we had Xbox Series X and S. That sold out within minutes as well. So next gen is getting started. Nintendo's looking like they're right there, about to also announce their plans for their upgraded console. Basically, I think you should be getting your wallets ready and getting your pre-order money ready for another crazy time online and waiting in line at stores to pre-order yet another new console, because it looks like Nintendo's coming with their more powerful Switch soon, and we're going to be getting something to pre-order and play with the improvements people have been wanting physically with the console. Most likely, you got to think Nintendo's going to be fixing that with the Joy-Cons after all the lawsuits and complaints and issues they've had with them. And of course, Metroid Prime 4 with the exciting information that the former senior game designer of God of War on PlayStation 4 is joining the team, confirmed to be working on Metroid Prime 4. Obviously, we know for a fact Metroid Prime 4 is not going to be releasing in the early part of 2021 when this rumored more powerful Switch is going to be released. So that means basically that we're looking at a console that is going to be playing this Metroid Prime 4 probably at beyond the level of what we were expecting on the current Switch. So it's going to be very, very exciting to see Metroid Prime 4 in action in all its glory. When they finally do show it, I can't wait to see what they have in store for all of us, all Metroid Prime fans. So if you're excited about that, guys, hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section. It's very exciting news, all positive stuff. So I'm really, really excited to see more, and finally to get Nintendo to announce this thing. It looks like it's going to be soon from the way things are going with retail reports and the talk around online. Everything is pointing to Nintendo announcing this console very, very soon. And to go along with that, keep this clearly in mind, Nintendo could very well be debuting first time footage of Metroid Prime 4 on this new console that they're going to be revealing very, very soon, in conjunction with other games that we talked about, like Doom Eternal and Monster Hunter Rise, with the increase of fidelity and performance. And then you have the whole other discussion of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. That obviously is another huge game that will benefit from this reported more powerful Switch coming very, very soon. So a lot of things to look forward to, guys. If you are excited about all this, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all of it. And if you did enjoy this video, guys, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. And I'll talk to you very soon in the next video. Have a great day.